wanna get away, but I could use some company. If you're alone like me, we could go on a trip. Girl, I wanna see the sun, dive into the deep ocean, dance with you all night long, move as you swing your hips. Let's take a break from the stress and the hate.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Mindset Monday. I am super excited to be here tonight, and it is a beautiful Monday. It is. Yes, it is. So, my name is Ilyasa Simpson, aka Coach Illy. And what we do on Mindset Mondays, we come up with strategies to help people live better lives. I always say hashtag do better season because every day you wake up is opportunity to do it better and do it right. Get yourself together because we only have one life to live. And just because you did it yesterday, that doesn't mean you have to do it today. So tonight we're talking about self-sabotage and self-deception. But what I'm going to do is break it up in two parts. Tonight, we're going to talk about self sabotage, and then next Monday, we're going to talk about self deception. So, I know everyone has a friend, a cousin, of any other kind of family member, a partner that has gone through self sabotage. So, I want everyone to share this broadcast. I want you to know that we are always here for you in the group. It's going to be a link following this broadcast. I'm going to place onto to this thread to invite anyone to the group that you may need to share. No, I want you to share, not may need to share. I want you to share. I want you to share the link to this group because this group is a safe group, a healthy group to stamp out depression, stamp out any type of mental illness, stamp out any type of mental stress, any type of mental anxiety. We all go through it, y'all. We all go through it. We have days where our hair stands up on our heads and we feel that we lose all control and we throw our hands up and say, listen, I can't take it no more. So I'm just letting you know. I want you to know you are not alone. You are not alone because just life itself is a stressor. Life itself is a stressor, and we can come here every Monday, or you can just make an appointment with me and we could talk about it to get you to a place where you ought to be from where you are. Because some people feel when they go down, they stay down and they can't get back up. I'm letting you know you can get back up and there's a way out. It happened to me. So that's why I take my time out to share because we can heal together. We can heal together and I am all for the giving the help because I'm built for this, and I know I'm built for this. So again, my name is Ilyasa Simpson, aka Coach Illy. This is the Charge Room community, and right now, this is Mindset Monday, where we talk about different tips on how to save ourselves with strategies of coming out and stamping out depression. So tonight, what we doing? We are talking about self-sabotage. So what does self-sabotage actually mean? Self-sabotage is when people either do things or don't realize they're doing things that will block their success, that will prevent them from accomplishing their goals, right? And it can happen consciously or unconsciously. And what it does is it really affects your personal life, your professional life, and also your mental health. We want to have healthy mental health. Having healthy mental health is the beginning of having a successful life. I don't care what you do in life, whatever goal you set. If you say, I want to buy a house, buy a boat, I want to lose weight, I want to raise my kids in a healthy environment. If your mind is not right, y'all, if your mind is not right, you will not be productive in your process successfully unless your mind is right. And sometimes when we think we are right, we are not right because there's so many of us walking around. Somebody asks you, "Are you good?" And you say, "Yeah, I'm good." And you go home at the end of each and every single day. And as you cross your threshold, the tears start to fall. You feel like you're going into complete pieces because you held yourself together for the whole day. And when you got home, you let it all out and you're in tears because life is not where you want it to be. Life is not as you choose it to be right now. And you are at your wit ends and you don't know how to get it together. But let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you, there is help out here, y'all. And I'm gonna give you some tips, but it's also you can read, you can also go to therapy. And I'm gonna tell y'all this as a social worker in the field of working with people with mental illness. I will say this, there are some of your community that does not believe in therapy and they do not believe in medication. If you are diagnosed with a serious mental illness, a chronic, serious mental illness, it is very necessary to take your medication because I'm going to explain it to you in a way where it might make some clearer sense. Let's say everyone fell, you fall and you hurt your knee, and your knee you scraped just you broke your skin and your skin popped open and there's blood coming out. The natural reaction is, you run, you ask for help. You as a child, you would run and say, "Mommy, mommy, daddy, daddy, I fell," and you're crying, there's blood on your knee, you scraped it up, your skin broke. Let's say your knee with your skin broken is your brain, and you went into a behavior, right? And you fell, but instead of you falling, you fell in your mind, right? So it gets to a place where you don't just fall in your mind. You again look at it as your knee. What do you do when you fall and you scrape your knee up and your skin breaks? What does mommy do? What does daddy do? They come clean it up. They clean it up. They put on a peroxide. Back in the days, we used mercury cone or bacitration, whatever that is, and we put that on it, and then we cover it with a band-aid. Same thing with your brain. Your brain breaks. Your brain breaks. And when your brain breaks, you're going to need a band aid. The band aid is the medication, it helps mellow out your brain levels, it helps mellow out your functioning. So when that happens, once you mellow out, the doctors, your therapy will teach you how to maintain a healthy, mentally healthy life. And I try to keep the words as simple as possible because everyone thinks they understand mental illness, but they really don't. They think they can cry, they sit in the dark, and it's okay. It is not okay. It is not okay when you are not feeling pleasure in your life. It is not okay. So I'm just here to share. There's people in your community, or maybe you were taught that, medication is no good. I'm telling y'all, if you were diagnosed with a serious mental illness, it is very necessary that you take your medication because it will help you maintain a healthy, mentally healthy way of life. I just wanted to start there. And with that being said, self sabotage is not a serious mental illness. What it is it's a place where we I'm gonna say play tricks with our mind. We play tricks with our mind because sometimes we may lack confidence or we may be insecure about ourselves. And most times you develop these insecurities, these fears, you develop them as a child. and you may develop them in your environment of which you have been raised, or you develop them with your peers. Maybe somebody teased you or told you you weren't good enough. People saying negative things about you. And I know plenty of times I heard people will say, oh, you ain't this, you ain't that, you're never going to be this, you're never going to be that. And what parents do sometimes, they get angry and they put one child against another child. They'll praise one child and they'll put fault on another child. Or if it's like 5 6 kids, they have their one that they or have their favorites. And that will take a toll on the other siblings in the family. And then you will grow up with different insecurities, different fears, different ways that you will negatively speak upon yourself, which they call negative self-talk. And you will grow with these negative, toxic emotions, and you grow them into your adulthood. And when I tell you it affects your relationships, they really, really do. And that's why I'm saying, like, I have to break this down into two parts, because each one is so intricate, and we don't realize that we are hurting ourselves emotionally, we are hurting ourselves mentally, right? And some people even hurt themselves physically because they don't understand they are taking thoughts of what someone else placed inside of you, and you're carrying these thoughts, and you are believing them. You're believing that you are this person. You are not. I'm going to say you are not. So I want everyone who thinks that they're not good enough, they're not light enough, dark enough, their hair is not long enough, their hair is not short enough, their is not curly enough, they're too, excuse me, their size is not um enough, um you don't have enough money, you don't have enough time, whatever someone put in your mind that you are not enough, good enough, bad enough, whatever it is, tough enough, you are a weak person, whatever someone told you as a child, and you took that and carried it with you all the way to your adulthood. I want you to take those negative thoughts and throw them in the garbage. And I know it may be hard, I know it may be challenging, but you have to fight for yourself. You have to fight for yourself and fight for the win, because we are all winners here. And we have to learn to stop walking around like canker sores. There are solutions to our problems. And I truly, truly know that if everyone takes time out to identify that this is me, this is me that wants to change. I don't want to no longer feel this way about myself. I don't want to sit in the dark about myself. I don't want to isolate myself. I don't want to have these negative thoughts and run with them by myself anymore. There is a way to heal and ways to change. You just have to accept it. Accept the help. You just can't sit and just look at things. You have to put action and effort into wanting something to actually do it. So let me share with you again. Self-sabotage is when we do something consciously or unconsciously that we block things from us being successful in completing our goals of whatever we want to do. And when we do that, we can destroy ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, and deliberately we hinder ourselves from being who we ought to be. And there is a place where you feel unvalued, right? You unworthy. And little do you realize you're doing it to yourself. And today, let today be this day to say, I am going to stop sabotaging my life. I am valuable, I am worthy, and I am a success. I am going to win. Those type of affirmations, you have to speak life over your life and push yourself. Fight for yourself. You are worthy to be happy. You do not have to sit sad and crying, because there's so many people that's crying or sad because they're grieving. Some people feel grieving only comes with death or someone close to them dying. Grieving also comes with living. People are scared to live. And this, the world is so large. Like, you're missing so much of a blessing by staying in your own cocoon of toxic thoughts. And you do not, absolutely do not have to be this way. So why do people self-sabotage? Again, like, they do it because they want to avoid conflict. They want to avoid conflict with themselves. So let's say, an example is, let's say you're a diabetic and your A1C is 10, and and you have a fetish for sweets, right? Let's say you saw this, you love chocolate cake, you absolutely love chocolate cake. You went and bought chocolate cake. Instead of slicing it in itty bitty slices and taking the slices moderately, day 1, day 3, day 5, you sat down and ate this whole entire chocolate cake. You are a diabetic, your A1C is 10. Your numbers could go up ridiculously, and you could send yourself to the hospital, right? This is something you are doing this to yourself because you don't want to avoid because you don't want to identify with the piece that you are a diabetic. Another way of seeing it is, you are 300 pounds and you say your goal is to lose 100 pounds. And then again, back to the chocolate cake. No one said you can't eat cake, but just don't eat the whole entire cake when you just set a goal to lose 100 pounds. That's you self-sabotaging yourself. You want to avoid the conflict of you reaching your successful goal of losing 100 pounds, right? So another way is called modeling, right? So self-sabotage, you emulate this, maybe from a child. So say like, what happens is that um a parent may warn a child, oh, be careful when you go outside and play on the playground. Um, and then you're constantly saying, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful. But what happens is that it causes the child to always feel like, dag, the playground is not going to be a safe place to be because my mom always tells me to be careful, when there's nothing wrong with the playground. But you put in your head, well, mom says you got to be careful, so I gotta be careful. So there's something at the playground that's gonna make me hurt myself. That's modeling. You're modeling what the parent is doing, right? You're putting in your brain that this is what the parent. Another way is like rejection. It's like, you having low self-esteem. So again, back to, I said, like how some parents put on their kid, oh, you why you not as smart as Sean? Sean is so smart, why you can't do what Sean do? And because the parent tells you these negative things, you and your brain goes, I'm gonna never be smart because I can't be smarter than Sean. Sean is smart and I'm dumb. And you're always going to think you're dumb, and you're not. Okay, another way is, we adapt ways to survive when, okay, let me see if I can get a good example. So what we doing is, we people are challenged to let's say a swimmer. You're swimming in a pool, and you know you could swim. And what happens is that as you're swimming, and your eyes are on something, and then you say, well, your goal is to get there. So it's like, I'm swimming, and then something in you say, I can't do it, and then you just stop in midstream, like, forget it, I can't do it, I'm not going to do it. And you lost the race because somewhere in your brain says, I can't do it. People do these things to themselves. They they challenge themselves, and then they'll turn around and take it back, and say that you're not good enough. And again, it's based on what somebody might have told you. And then trauma is another way that people continuously self-sabotage themselves. When a child is going through something, they have trust issues. They view themselves as undeserving, and not worthy. So if a person you trust and they come into your life, and then they leave your life, and it happens a lot of times when children are going through a divorce battle with their parents. Well, their parents are going through a divorce battle, and they are looking at, like, I may be the reason why my parent um is getting our parents are getting a divorce, and you have nothing to do with that. But you may think that your father or mother is leaving because of you. That becomes a traumatic experience where you think things are not good in people's lives because of you, which is not true. And it's definitely, like, again, like I said, these types of examples happens of self-sabotage happens most of the time from insecurities and self-limited beliefs. You limit, like the person swimming in a pool, you are limiting yourself from going forward because you think in your mind you are not good enough to win this race when you are already born a winner. So other areas that we tend to sabotage ourselves are in relationships and at work. So, in relationships, really quickly, because I know my time is running real slow, and I mean really fast, and this is like really intense. So, and because so many people do it, right? So, in your relationship, what people do is they would ignore someone's emotions. They'll criticize their partner. They'll hold grudges. They will direct their energy to something else instead of have doing it into the relationship. And then they always focus on their partner's flaws. So when a person, I'm gonna say, emotionally attacks you because they feel that they cannot, do not have the will or the wherewithal to stay in a relationship with you, they will sabotage it. Or if they don't want to be around you, they will start an argument so they can leave. It happens all the time. People sabotage scenarios in a relationship because they may want to do something else and may not be with you at the time, at the moment, or just forever. So another places that self sabotage happens is also at work. Let's say you're wonderful at work, but sometimes you procrastinate. Sometimes you're indecisive on what you should fulfill at work, some task. Sometimes people are disorganized. And again, this happens consciously or unconsciously. And also imposter syndrome, that's when you're good at something, you set your standard for it and say, okay, I'm going to do it. And then you don't do it. You know you're good enough to do it. You have everything that it takes to get it done, but you and your mind will go, I'm not good enough to do this. I'm not going to do this. And we do that at work. So what happens, how do we stop it, right? So Again, self sabotage is rooted emotionally through your emotional experiences. And again, it often happens in your childhood and it could release in cycles. It may not happen all the time. It could release in cycles. It may be something where somebody triggers you to, feel incompetent or insecure or places fear into you some type of way, and you dance around yourself thinking that you're powerless, that you just can't go through or can't go on or you can't finish when you know you're good enough, when you know that you're strong enough. But maybe somebody, when you was 8 told you that you were weak and you were powerless or you wasn't nothing or anything. And it can happen at any point in time of your life. And you hold these traumatic thoughts, because those are traumatic thoughts. You hold them, and they come in cycles and they float around on you for the rest of your life if you don't stop it. But I'm here today to say you can stop these things. You can stop. One for one, the first thing I say when I started, everything ends and begins with you. It's about having a healthy mental mindset. You have to have a healthy mental mindset and you have to know yourself. I cannot stress it enough. You must know yourself to be true to yourself. If you do not do this, you will always float around in your emotions for the rest of your life, thinking that you are not good enough, and you will sabotage everything that your mind touches emotionally. So, yes, knowing yourself, practice mindfulness, y'all. You have to practice mindfulness. You have to practice self compassion. Give yourself permission to feel your emotions. If you are hurting, yes, say, I am hurting. Write it out. I always believe in writing things out so you can see it, so you can read it, so you can experience it, so you can feel it. And what we don't do is give ourselves permission to heal in between relationships. We don't give ourselves permission to say, I want to know who I am. And we let other people dictate who we are. We have to stop these things. And I'm so passionate about it because I believe in loving myself is so important. I want y'all to learn how to like yourself, learn how to love yourself, be compassionate with yourself, and accept who you are. And what people do, they expect themselves in other people, and they get disappointed quickly because if you did something for somebody and they're not reciprocating the love or the affection, the compassion, whatever, you getting angry at them. Stop. You have to stop getting angry at other people because you are expecting you and other people. Do not do that. Do not look at other people with expectation. Look at yourself and operate in love. And when you operate in love, I'm saying lead with love. Because when people watch you and you're leading with love, it tends to change the dynamics of your relationship. Right? So accept one who you are. That's why knowing yourself is very important, because you are not you from yesterday. You are not you from 10 years ago. You are not you from 20 years ago. You are not the same person every sec from yesterday that you woke up to today. Tomorrow you're going to be different from today. And not only that, life can change in a snap. So know yourself, heal, be mindful of who you are, have compassion with yourself, accept who you are. And you have to reframe your mindset to understand that you are a person that has power to change anything in your life that you want. You have to want it. Then you put action to it. You just don't stand there and look at it. You have to roll up your sleeves sometimes and get dirty and say, I'm going to work on me. I have to work on me because I want change. And don't get comfortable being a failure. It's okay to fail. Don't sit and say, I'm a failure and I get nothing right. No, get back up and do something different. You already see this doesn't work, then try something different. And if you got to do something 99 times, damn it, do it 100 times, 101 times, but don't get comfortable but being a failure because you failed at something. Get up and do something different. So I'm just going to stop right there. And then next week, I'm going to do self-deception. I hope this was helpful to someone. Please share this broadcast with someone that needs help and that's too scared to ask for help. Again, you can always go to the website and make an appointment, www.thechargeroom.com. If you want to see this, we are also connected on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube page. It says The Charge Room. So type in The Charge Room in the search bar. Subscribe to the YouTube page. If you're not in the community, get in the community. Come into the community. Ask questions. Be about learning how to heal yourself and learning how to be in a safe space to ask for help. Have permission. Give yourself permission to heal, y'all. And stop jumping from person to person to person to think that they're going to help you be happy. Being happy comes in your singleness, not when you are coupled up. If you are not happy with yourself, it is impossible to help someone, not even help someone, to please someone and make them happy too, because misery going to show up. And then when misery shows up, it spreads like a wildfire. And then your relationship is toxic. You don't want that, right? You don't want that. So I'm Eliasa Simpson, aka Coach Illy, and this is Mindset Mondays. Come here every Monday, 7 to 7:30 p.m. I went a little bit over my time. I do apologize because time is precious, but I am here to do my best to help share love, help share knowledge, help share education, and just make this world a better place, because it's hashtag do better season here and the Mindset Mondays in the Charge Room community and all over the world. It's time for change, y'all. Again, like us on the Facebook page, or we have a Charge Room Facebook page. Get involved in our Charge Room community group. Click the link and subscribe. I'm going to put it into the feed. Subscribe onto YouTube. We are here. I'm on Instagram, The Charge Room. Again, inbox me. Ask me questions. You need help with something, I will give you an answer or direct you to where you can get help. So there's always self-help books on self-sabotage. You can Google it. Self-help books on self-sabotage. Go read a book, y'all. They have audio books now. So if you don't feel like reading, or even if you can't read, get the audio books. But all I'm saying is get some help. So this is the Charge Room. Everyone, have a great night. And I'll see you next Monday.
I wanna get away, but I could use some company.